Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people who hate reading. This week we're doing Django Unchained. It's the last of our very Tarantino Christmas specials. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens,
Hello.
and a man from Jersey Shore in the lower left-hand corner, Ryan Preston. This week, it's a movie all three of us have been wanting to see, is Django Unchained. So which one of you has the IMDb very short description?
With the help of his mentor, a slain-turned bounty hunter sets out to rescue his wife from a brutal Mississippi plantation owner. And life, liberty, and the pursuit of vengeance is the tagline.
I was kind of hoping for a vague IMDb description.
I was too. It was kind of a little bit more direct than I was thinking.
That's a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
As far as just the plot's concerned, you know, like shit, way to break it all down.
I know they did a good
I
job.
would have said something more like blaxploitation spaghetti western superhero movie.
Yeah, I think
That's actually pretty damn good on, too.
I mean, it might have been Quentin Tarantino just summing it up, and they just stole it from him. I don't know.
Right, you could just say it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. Go fucking watch this thing.
That pretty much describes everything in the movie. It's by Quentin Tarantino.
Well, I mean,
So who wants to go first?
Any
Start this off.
anybody.
let's go with the fanboy.
So who's the fanboy?
I think both of us, all three of
All
us.
three of
Why do I have to be the fucking fanboy?
I guess, if you...
Because you're cutting off your head.
Tarantino movie.
Okay, if you want, I'll go.
All right.
I was going to say, one thing I've always loved about Tarantino movies is the way he does the credits. The credits are actually in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell he's a fan of older movies. It seems generally just movies in the 70s, but...
Yeah. Even especially westerns, the song in the beginning.
Well, that's when he was a kid, though.
So good.
True.
He was a kid when the spaghetti westerns were all coming out.
And
Right.
I think I've heard this is the first movie he's ever done that songs were specifically done for the film. Because generally he has
Right.
pre-canned music that he selects.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
Doing they always had pre-selected music, like you said, but always to give, like the feeling of the time or whatever, or just like the iconic song, worked in its place. But this, it was exactly the same purpose for having the written songs. Being as much as like they always had like that one specific song, like the title song by so and so, and
But
so throwing that in there was kind of that weird Tarantino authenticism.
Okay, can you push your screen back just a little bit so you're not just a talking mouth, you're a talking head? A little bit more. There you go. All right. So all we're getting is your nose and your mouth.
That's awesome, because we could have talked about that shit before we started, but way to bring it up now.
Hey.
I actually did mention it to you. It's not my
Okay.
fault you weren't listening.
All right. Anyway, no, I agree with you. Now, was it you? Was it just me, or did everybody else kind of feel like the song in the beginning? There was a song about Django.
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 The D is
Yeah,
silent.
there was a title song.
Yeah, the song about Django was a lot like the song about the sheriff.
If you're gonna say
from
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. It totally was. It was a ripoff of that, I swear.
I'll to be honest, I haven't seen that in a long time.
It was a rip-off of the old spaghetti westerns, so you can't really compare the two, because they're
is it
ripping
real-
them off.
Wait, hold on.
Let me rephrase that, because I'm not saying it's a ripoff. It just was very similar to that. And like this movie, in my sense, was an homage to all of the westerns, including Blazing
Saddles. As much
Saddles.
as Mel Brooks did it as a spoof, though, Tarantino was doing it as a dead, like I want to do one of those movies.
But what I'm saying is that it's like Quentin Tarantino took the writing of this and took all the good westerns, including Blazing Saddles, and included it in here as an homage to them. Not as a disrespectful thing, but as...
I agree with you, though. I did think of Blazing Saddles when I heard the song.
Yeah, it totally was.
Something about the guy's voice.
I was half expecting him to like roll up and there's a guy in the middle of the desert playing a piano.
Well, I was waiting for the crack of the whip in the song. And that was,
The other thing I really liked about it was the flashbacks. had a very film grain look to it.
Yeah, he does that a lot, though.
He always films in film.
Well, this
so
one,
they always, especially that
the flashbacks
really,
the flashbacks in general had a very film-esque quality.
It was a lot like what Clint Eastwood did in Few Dollars More. And that one,
Right.
when the bounty hunters in there were going back to why he was carrying around the watch and all that stuff, a lot of that was
Right.
very grainy, very filmed very, very rough. And that's what it kind of reminded me of.
I really loved that. I love the fact if you look at it, the way it's filmed, there's a bunch of little styles and qualities and lighting. Overall, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean that's Tarantino. We're all just discussing stuff about Tarantino. But how'd you like the movie? What'd you think?
Yeah.
Well, I've got more points.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's on you. It's not.
The other question is, I really want to know, why did Django see his wife everywhere? That was the one thing I didn't quite. I didn't get. But
I kind of just assumed that he was just thinking of her, and he knew that he was getting closer, and the closer he got, the more she was prominent in his head. That's all I could figure out.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know, right?
That's all I was thinking too.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing is, I love the soundtrack. I love this right now is my favorite soundtrack of any Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
And most of his soundtracks are amazing. I loved this one. Even the rap to me fit.
I agree that all of it fit. It's just I didn't think this was one of his better soundtracks. I thought it was great. I just didn't think it was one of his better ones.
It fit extremely perfectly with the movie. Like as far as that's concerned, you just didn't like the soundtrack. Like you wouldn't buy the soundtrack. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it.
I'm totally buying the soundtrack.
I'm saying I disagree. I'm not gonna go buy the soundtrack, but I didn't dislike it. Is what I'm saying. I thought it fit with the movie. I just wasn't a big fan.
I could see that, and I'm generally not a big Jamie Foxx fan, but the last couple of movies he's done, the last odd decade, have been really well done. I mean, playing Ray Charles was amazing. I think this role was amazing.
Collateral.
Yeah, and then didn't he do another one, like a violin one?
Oh yeah, he was like a hobo violin player.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it.
I haven't seen that one.
I have, and that was a really good one. I'm trying to I'm pulling up the name right now.
But overall, I liked the movie.
Law Abiding Citizen was good too.
Even Leonardo DiCaprio on this movie. I'm generally not a big Leo fan.
Thank you.
Oh, I've turned the corner on Leo the last about the same time I have on Jamie Foxx. They've both become to me kind of some of those people.
And for those of you that may be wondering, it was The Soloist that did the violence.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Leonardo has really turned his career around. I think he has. I mean, he finally got away from the girl drama stuff that he was doing for a while.
I think the one thing, I think this movie was watching a bunch of information about it. He actually brought some stuff to the role that apparently even Quentin never thought of. Was I forgot what it's called, but it's about the skull, the way the skull works. It's I forgot what it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
His little anatomy lesson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was all Leo DiCaprio. I just everything about the movie I really liked.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done. Ryan.
Yeah, your turn.
Shoot, I like John was just saying, I loved everything about this damn movie. I mean, we've all been looking forward to the new Tarantino movie, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it would have been good no matter what. But for him to sort of touch on this area of sort of American history that never ever gets no stories ever get told about this. I mean, Roots, I think, is the only one that I've ever seen that kind of told the story. But then to take something as dead serious as Roots and as terrible and everything, and then make this insane superhero semi-comedy kind of thing out of it was like the coolest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And then like I said, it was this sort of half kind of blaxploitation, like meet spaghetti western kind of thing. It's a really, really awesome mix, and then coupled with just the best performances in the world, by people like Christoph Waltz and
totally.
Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson in this movie, dude. Oh,
I have a
I
question
mean-
for both of you, though. Real quick, talk about the movie. This got a lot of crap talked about it.
No, I'm gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
Mine's included with that. So
Oh, okay.
let's not go there yet.
yeah,
then-
I know what you guys are talking
No,
about.
I got
think-
this.
think
I got it. I got this one. Seriously.
Okay.
My other question is,
chill.
what did you think about Sam Jackson's character? Because I was reading, apparently they cut a lot out of the film that would have made you hate him even more.
Really?
Oh, I mean, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even possible. I mean, just knowing the type of person that he was playing, you know, I mean, makes him a despicable character. But see, that was going to be my point is how pronounced Tarantino's characters always are. You know what I mean? Like I was looking at a handful of the interviews that he did about with things, some of the press tours, and he was saying how easy it is for him to be writing a movie and for Sam Jackson or Christoph Waltz or some of his key players to just flow out of his pen, like writing parts for him that he doesn't even originally intend for them to be playing.
That's awesome. That's a good director. That's a good not just
Yeah.
director but writer.
It's a good
And I say
writer,
director
and
because
someone who has that kind of pull in movies
Yeah.
can sort of do that because he knows that people like Christoph Waltz and Sam Jackson are going to keep coming back. So he has the luxury to sit there and just write sort of how he writes. And he said that people like that, Sam Jackson, Christoph Waltz, just say his dialogue so perfectly that that's who he imagines.
Yeah.
You know, like as being the parts. And he's one of the few directors that, like I said, has the luxury of being able to then get those people that he's writing for.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the good things about Quentin, and why I said instead of just writer initially, I said director, because the director should know his cast. He should know how the cast works, how they act, and be able to play to their strengths and get them to pull out what his vision is. And now the writer, the great thing about him is he also writes too, so he knows
he
these
wrote
guys.
it long before.
Yeah,
he knows his material better than anybody, so he has an idea of the type of person, the reading, the acting he wants to fit the character.
Yeah.
So he has the luxury of being able to pick a person that's spot on for the role.
Yeah.
Like he did with Candy. Apparently he originally wrote it for a much older character, but when Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to play it, he looked at it and realized that it adds a dimension having a younger man play it than it would as an older person.
Yeah.
Which I thought was killer.
Yeah. All right, did you have more?
Yeah. Don Johnson kicks ass.
Yeah.
You're less pastels, though. I wanted more pastel colors.
Django's suit wasn't good enough.
Oh my god. I know that was like
That's the
funniest
best
thing.
effing superhero costume I think I've ever seen.
I want to know where the hell he found that suit.
I love the girl. I love the girl. Wait, so you're free and you chose to wear that?
I love that it's the exact opposite of what he was always, what his character was used to. You know what I'm saying? You go from the shittiest clothes covered in mud and dark and dead colors and everything, and then you see this bright blue, like crushed velvet, like, Austin Powers suit right there. And that just, that's like the opposite of what you're used to. I would have picked the damn thing too.
Dude, that suit's so bright you could probably see it from space. It was.
But the thing that you said is dead on. Is because that's one of the things that I'm sure somebody who became free and had the limited resources to go with whatever they wanted,
right,
would do, because they don't know. They don't know what it's like to be in that.
To have their choice of whatever
you can see
they
him
want.
sort of take advantage of a couple of those situations in there, just by virtue of the fact that, like, who the hell else kind of gets to do this? Like, I'm gonna sort of like wow, this is crazy. What's this like?
Yeah.
It's weird watching a movie that kind of funny and entertaining, and then also be hit with sort of the realism of what was going on, sort of in the background, and is the setting of this entire movie. That was a bizarre sort of movie going experience, and I guess it's one that I've sort of learned to accept with Tarantino, him taking you on this weird
adventure
journey.
I think that's one of his strong suits, actually.
Sort of existentially.
Yeah.
But watching this one was interesting, to say the least. Just again, with that weird part of American history that nobody really talks about, and then showing the certain parts. What's her name? Washington. What's the woman's name? Played Django's wife.
Got it here somewhere.
Kara something. I can't recall.
I don't have it right with me.
Because I can't remember her name, but this woman has to get like an Oscar for what she did.
Yeah.
Broomhilda. It's Kerry Washington.
Yes,
Kerry.
She really deserves like all kinds of awards and whatnot for what she did in a couple of those scenes. I know you guys know which ones I'm talking about. What's his name? Walter Goggins, as James and I really like from Justified. Was in this damn and freaking played an amazing character in it.
Yeah, I think he's getting typecasted though.
He is. He seems like he's playing the same
dirty
roles.
redneck.
Southern actor.
I know.
He's a Southern actor. I don't know how much more he really wants to do other than being a Southern actor.
I don't think he wants to do anything else but be a Southern actor, to be honest. Which is good.
Really good point.
I will say I wanted to say that I think one of Tarantino's strong suits as a director, whether he does it on purpose or not is separate, is being able to take a part of history that is horrible, like slavery in the South, and have a message to it, but write it in a way that most people not only will learn from it, but find it hilarious. It's not a painful experience to watch. And
uplifting at the same time.
Yeah. And I think to be able to do that is a pretty good director, to write something that you get a message from, but it's not like, oh shit, the whole time. Why? It's not a painful thing to watch.
Yeah.
No,
right.
it's sort of cathartic in the sense that you're watching this guy really like take it out on everybody who fucking deserved it,
killing every white man in the entire movie,
killing every white man in town.
Yeah. So I I agree with you guys on a lot of points. I think the way that Quentin Tarantino did a lot of the scene changes was really well done. I like the fact that he took little subtitles as like 6 months into winter, and then they come down from the mountain and they go to MISS.
Yeah,
and it was so big that you could put one letter on the screen at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I thought that was really well done. That was something that a lot of people wouldn't have put that much thought into.
And this was the first movie that wasn't edited by Sally Menke, right?
Yeah. Because she died, I think, before the film was being made.
She died before they made the movies. But whoever was the editor, I don't have it in front of me. But whoever was the editor in this did such an kind of an homage to Sally Menke as far as the editing style in it. It was so perfect,
Yeah, so
it was exactly what you would expect.
I think that was really well done, and like we've said, I really do like so Jamie Foxx. I thought his acting in this was really well done. Though, granted, I saw more of Jamie Foxx than I ever needed to see in my entire life.
I second that thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to know if prosthetics or whatever. I don't even want to know about.
So the motion was passed. We've all seen more of Jamie Foxx than we ever cared.
Exactly.
Ever wanted to.
Now, as far as everything else, I think it was really well done. I like the fact that he even brought realism to like the KKK when they're all standing there, sitting on their horses. Like,
I love that scene.
What's up? These masks, I can't see anything.
The whole bag thing.
Yeah.
That was such a great scene. But then juxtaposed with what happened just before that scene, where you see him put the thing and the dynamite in the tooth, and then they come down the hill, see people falling off their horses because they can't see, but you don't know that yet. And they start kind of surrounding the place, and then it cuts to the whole discussion of the bags on the heads. And the whole time you're thinking, oh man, you guys are all screwed because of these fucking bags, man.
Yeah.
This is
exactly.
This is one of my that's one of my favorite talks. It's right up there with Reservoir Dogs, the reason I don't tip.
It's right up there. Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of
a big dick conversation.
Yeah, there's a lot of enjoyable things about this movie that you wouldn't expect, and then the fact that your screen's acting up, and then all the things like the training that he goes into to learn how to shoot and all that. That was really well done too. I mean, because they took the whole winter and they went around and picked up a few people. And then the other scene that really sticks out in my mind is the Quentin Tarantino scene where he's an Australian. Now, sorry, so Quentin, funny. You have a bad Australian accent, but you know. But
yes,
but it's
but
this is it could be argued as a Western Australian accent. You know, somebody who's from Australia but been in country for long enough to pick up some of this weird ass dialect.
Yeah, but this is the longest scene I've ever seen him have. Besides, even in Reservoir Dogs, he didn't have. I don't think he had a longer scene than this. But
yeah, no, I think this was his longest.
The dialogue in Reservoir Dogs was longer than this.
Quite a bit longer than the whole coffee scene.
Except for Dusk Till Dawn. He had a longer scene on screen in Dusk Till Dawn.
But that wasn't his movie. I mean, this was the only movie that he's been in of his movies in a long time that he's even made an appearance in.
Yeah, so he had a really long role in here, and I just think that whole scene right there was really nice. And you're not sure if Jamie Foxx is going to kill them or not. I would have thought that was up in the air, but that was really well played to show that, you know, these characters develop, because he wouldn't have been able to pull this off, that whole thing of getting him to believe it, because he took all the knowledge that he had learned from from Schultz's character and brought it into there. And I thought that was really well done to see the development of the change that he's made from being a slave into there. And I think that was a very pinnacle scene, because even the black guys in the back
I think
saw
Tarantino wanted to do that scene specifically so he can blow himself up.
Well, that too, but I think it was also to show, because the slaves didn't like Jamie Foxx.
It was like the end of a montage kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you see this whole winter go through, and then you see sort of what he's become, like this kind of like pretty smart, witty assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, you get to see him go from the character of being a really hated former slave,
slaver
to slaver to.
Because that was the character he's playing.
To a bounty hunter. Okay. You get to see the transition where the slaves get it. They in that second they understand Jamie Foxx is the reason for everything.
Yeah.
And then that's why
he's
they have these
man.
That's when they get these reactions going.
Yeah.
What the, you know.
Yeah, so I think the movie all in all was a very good, and I said this in the beginning before we even got into it, was a great homage.
Totally.
To all the spaghetti westerns that I liked.
One of my favorite homages, James, and I know you caught this, dude. End of the movie, first thing it says, no horses were harmed in the making of this film. I almost stood up and cheered.
that was so
not
great.
For the horses and their safety, but the fact, I mean, they used to have to put that because people were so up in arms about, you know, like these horses, you know, possibly getting injured.
Oh yeah.
You know, 'cause, you know. Like one of the first scenes, he shoots a guy in the head and then brains the horse.
Yeah, I think it was Joe Kidd was the one where was it the Clint Eastwood one where he used the horse as a shield for bullets.
Right.
They got so mad about that one. Oh man. Okay, but speaking of things that people got so mad about, Spike Lee, shut up.
Thank you.
That's it. Spike Lee, shut up.
Was he flipping shit for the use of the N-word?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Now, it's used 111 times. I mean.
Now, we brought up this movie before.
Which broke his previous record.
Yes.
Brought up this movie earlier today, is Blazing Saddles. Now, when Mel Brooks got finished writing the script for Blazing Saddles, he sent it to Richard Pryor to see what he would have against it. Hold on. Hold on, let me finish. And Richard Pryor wrote him back, and all of his criticisms had nothing to do with the N-word in his script.
Well, I think
so
he
Mel
also
Brooks
helped him write it.
Who, Richard Pryor? Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, he didn't. He helped in the end with the criticisms, but when Mel Brooks finished writing it, he had so many N-words in there that he was so worried about it that he sent it to Richard Pryor to see what Richard Pryor thought about it. And Richard Pryor gave him a list of things, but nothing in there was against the racism in it. Because of it was the time. Now, I did notice that Quentin Tarantino didn't say nigger to him at all. He said black. When he said, what's up, white? What's up, black?
Well, you know the reason
I thought that was kind of funny, but, you know, I mean, the criticism for that is way uncalled for. It was a different time.
Well, it was indicative of the time, and I look with that kind of thing. There's a bunch of little interviews with him. I think we linked to one of them on our Facebook page.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we did.
The couple.
Yeah.
But there's his whole little conversation with Sidney Poitier or whatever the hell like that. But you either have to do it or you don't do it at all. Like, and it's one of those things that kind of authenticism is the only way to get across that kind of emotionality, that he's trying to get across. I mean, like the terribleness of what happened, and you either have to go all the way with it or you can't do it at all. And Tarantino's
the other thing that I was going to bring up,
I want to say something. I do say, even though I generally don't like. Well, I don't like Spike Lee at all.
I hate his movies. I looked at him.
He's never made a movie I liked personally, but
he did have one monologue I liked.
I do think that even though I do think the N-word was used a lot in the movie, I do think societally somebody had to say something. Whether I agree with it or not, something had to be said so the conversation continues. Just society,
I don't even think that. I mean, Jamie Foxx.
I think it was almost the point of it to have these conversations after watching the movie, as much of a kind of a hero piece as it is. There is still that extra layer of like, damn, but there is that other thing, like that is pretty messed up.
Well, the thing that I'd point out is, who is the main actor in this movie?
It was a black
guy, Jamie Foxx. And I'm sure that if Jamie Foxx thought that it was an inappropriate use of that word, he wouldn't have done it.
Well,
and I respect.
I was saying Tarantino wouldn't have hired him at the same time, but then you have, I mean, everybody in the movie obviously understood what was going on, what story was trying to be told. Because I mean, look, you got 150 extras out there playing slaves in a field picking cotton with white dudes holding shotguns. Yeah. Everybody fucking understands what's going on. And they understand the motivation for it and everything. There's nothing that's misunderstood about intentions or anything like that.
I think the benefit though is it's also a Tarantino movie. He's known for one, going over the top. I mean, that's one thing he's known for.
Well, not even going over the top, but being able to tell a story in a way that people sort of understand. So exactly. I think it gave him sort of a pass on this thing. This movie was filmed in Louisiana.
Yeah.
On plantation that used to be a slave plantation.
Yeah,
like way back. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the town, but I mean, the whole time the cast is talking about, just being around there and it being sort of like sacred ground that they were filming on. I mean, everybody got it.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to this film, you're expecting the fact that there's going to be slaves, there's going to be bad language, there's going to be mistreatment of people, and that's just what you're going to expect because that's the era that he is filming in.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, I respect Jamie Foxx way more than I will ever respect Spike Lee. And, I mean, as far as looking at all those Spike Lee joints, I mean, the only one that he even has any redeeming thing in is 25th Hour, and that is only because Edward Norton delivered one of the best monologues ever in that movie.
Well, it was a good movie. I mean, it was a good movie.
It wasn't that good. The monologue was the good one.
I'll be honest. I don't like Spike Lee.
I don't like
automatically subtract points for it being a Spike Lee movie. I just don't like anything he says. Most of the time, the problem I have with him is what he says detracts from the film.
Yes,
to me personally.
Well, that's the thing is he's like the Bono of filmmaking. He's always got this point that he wants to drive right into your head. Man.
I love that.
Well put. And as far as South Park is concerned, I'm sure he's got a lot of peanuts in him.
Wow.
Do you remember the Bono episode?
Yeah.
Wow. So here's the question, Ryan. What did you give this movie?
Oh, shit, dude. That's the thing. I was thinking about that this morning. Because I've thought about this movie more since I left than I did spend time watching the movie. I want to go see this movie again right now just so I could kind of sit there and just experience that again. I was thinking like how the hell do I not give this movie something like a 5? I mean just even if I'm being a little biased towards the genre or something like that, like screw it, dude. That's like one of the coolest fucking movies I've ever seen, and made so much more of an impression to me than just kind of, oh, this is a cool movie. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is definitely going to go down as one of his classic movies.
So
like totally of all time.
So what'd you give it?
Yeah, I think I have to give it a 5 because there's no reason why I shouldn't,
Okay.
as far as our scale's concerned.
James?
Well, I was kind of in the same boat with Ryan that, I was trying to figure out where I'm going to put this in this morning. And I was thinking, maybe if my ancestor heritage went back towards the slaves, I would jump on it, giving a 5, instead of the Jews, jumping on, giving that one a 5. But, honestly, if I actually put some thought into this movie, there is, like Ryan said, there is absolutely 100% no reason not to. As far as our scale is concerned, this movie is a glowing 5. A glowing 5. So, and I am a fan of the genre. I'm a big fan of the old westerns. I'm a big fan of the spaghettis, the John Waynes, all those movies. And I think this one does them a lot of justice. It's a movie that has not been done in a long time. The western genre has really not been that. I mean, they did the homage to True Grit, but I mean that was already a story that was written.
Yeah. This is a really
original story, and there's absolutely no reason.
Extremely
to not give
original.
it a 5.
New ground even covered on this story. Like not a lot of shit ever touched on otherwise. For
me, this has been the last month has been the hardest ever for grading movies, just because I love Tarantino. I've almost never seen a bad Tarantino movie where like
Jackie
Steven.
Brown.
It's okay, but I mean, well, you look at him versus Spielberg. There's more bad Spielberg movies just by sheer quantity than there is Tarantino movies.
Well, that's because Spielberg was putting him out because he has the name Spielberg.
So that's. Oh.
What?
I mean, so that's
true.
This has been a hard month. I mean, I agree. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5, but this month has been incredibly difficult for me on rating Tarantino movies because I love them so much.
Yeah. I don't know if people out there can tell that we all are kind of like sort of suckers for Tarantino movies.
Pretty much. So we have some movie news, and I'll go first since mine's really short. Disney is set.
You're done?
Yeah. Huh? Jeez. Ass. Disney is set to release a Cars spin-off called Planes.
Yes, I saw that. That's been around. That's been rumored for a long time.
Well, here's the story. It follows Dusty, a small-town dreamer who longs to enter the most epic around-the-world air race. Despite his fear of heights and being a plane, lame. So, with the help and support of a fleet of new and hilarious characters, Dusty wings his way into the biggest challenge of his life. And that's verbatim.
What is that half little smirk that you had early on there? What is that all about that's turned into this, shit-eating grin? I think you got a little left on this, too.
I mean, of course there's going to be a Cars sequel called Planes. I mean,
true.
Just wait for shit.
Well, how the hell did that all this coming? And Dusty, who's got a fear of heights. But the problem is, it's going to be Pixar and Disney, and they make kick-ass movies. So
it'll be entertaining. I'm going to watch it.
Money at this point. They're printing money.
The other one is Riddick. The new Riddick movie. It gets an official release date of September 6, 2013.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sooner than I was expecting on that.
Same here. Why didn't you just, instead of doing Planes, why didn't you just discuss Monsters University?
I thought this one was more entertaining.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
Just because Monster University was expected. I wasn't really expecting a Cars sequel based on planes after the last Cars movie.
I've seen this one I've seen little snippets of this for a while now.
Well, this is the first one I've actually seen any information on.
Really?
Besides,
okay.
They're gonna, Disney's making a new Planes. This is the first one that's actually had a story attached.
Okay.
So anybody else?
Ryan?
I was just gonna bring up one quick thing. Okay. Feelings of Martin Scorsese aside, we're all Departed fans, right here? Like the movie The Departed.
I haven't seen most of it. I've seen parts of it.
Wow. Okay.
I could take it or leave it, to be honest.
You know what James feels about Scorsese?
No. Okay. No.
Every couple of weeks, I'll throw this damn movie on. It's one of my favorite crime dramas of all time. Seriously, anyway. Aside from that, the guy who wrote it William Monahan is developing
You've got
a
the
crime
leak.
drama for Stars. He's doing a series for him.
So I can
taking
mute him if
place-
you want.
No, just let him go. I was trying to talk.
You steamrolled him.
Yeah, you totally just talked right over me, and I'm trying to finish my thought. But go on. It doesn't really matter what I feel about the
go
party
ahead.
because you're going to talk about it
It doesn't
anyway.
matter anymore since somebody fucking remembers what I was talking about.
So what were you saying, James?
No, let him go.
Well, he's done, so talk,
No,
damn
he
it.
was talking about that this guy was going to do writing for what?
No, I'm done. What were you saying?
I was just going to say that I just don't... I'm not a big fan of the East Coast, we all got little brotherhood of law enforcement agents and blah, blah, blah. It's just lame to me. I don't like it. I don't like that genre.
We're not friends anymore.
Wow. That was harsh.
I mean, what a fucking weird specific thing not to be a fan of. Like, and
I've just seen too much of it. I don't care about like the show Blue Bloods. That was just stupid. I like
nobody cares
CSI
about
New
that
York.
shit either. But,
Wait,
you know,
wait,
stuff
Ryan.
like I mean, you.
Ryan, hold on. We review movies. If you're not as specific, if you don't like specific things, I mean, we bitch you about really asinine things. I mean,
That is what a.
it's very specific.
Of all the movies that you like, that's
That
a
genre.
weird fucking place to draw the line. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well, I just haven't had one done that I actually like. I could give a
God,
rat's
I
ass
feel like-
less about any of those characters.
Well,
I mean, they could have shot Jack Nicholson in the head 15 times and I wouldn't have cared.
okay, we're running up.
And I
against
like
the,
Jack Nicholson.
We're running up against the end of the show. So what was
Okay.
your movie news, Ryan?
weirdly and harsh. It's weird, harsh. It's strange.
You were-
Can't
It is James we're talking
I
about.
can't put my
though.
finger on that kind of vitriol. Anyway, forget about it. The guy who wrote the movie that you seem to hate so much is writing another thing that you're probably gonna fucking hate because it takes place and it has crime in it, with probably a brotherhood of people. But it takes place in the '60s in Britain.
See, I like British people, kind of, sometimes, except
Oh,
for their
fucking-
anti-gun crap.
Oh dear God. Okay.
I mean, if I see one more British person bitch about a gun, like,
All
I
right,
hate
well,
guns.
that's cool. I'm gonna go watch me some like Godfather or something like that. You could have fun with like Austin Powers if you're British.
so
No,
James,
that's
what's
just mean.
So what's your movie news?
That's just mean.
So what's
Yeah,
your
well,
movie
you-
news?
All right, so
Tell
anyway,
me later watching Goldmember.
you know, I still have yet to see that movie. I refuse to.
You're not missing much.
All right, so I stumbled across this movie news, and the reason why this caught my eye was Guillermo del Toro. This is the reason why I took notice of this guy, and I had both you guys watch the short that this movie is based on.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think? That's what I'm curious about.
I mean, you know, it seemed kind of like average sort of horror movie, not using anything in particular that I thought was.
Okay. Well, no.
Or
I'm
average.
going to get to why I'm slightly intrigued by this. Go on, John.
Being a 2 to 3 minute clip, so it doesn't. You can't really expand on a lot of things. I thought it was interesting. The use of colors and the characters. It's very interesting how he extracted what the movie is based on versus that 3 minute clip. To me,
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you a small idea of what it's about, but not enough for me.
Did
to
you guys
expand on
actually
the
read
story.
what this movie's about?
Yeah, I know. What the
I know
movie's-
you did.
I didn't actually see what the
Okay.
what the feature was going to be about. I just saw the short.
Okay, that's what I was hoping you to do. I didn't know that. I kind of figured John would read about it. But this is the plot outline, and this guy's only directed 3 things: the movie that is coming out in 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
the short, and one other movie. Now, the
Wow.
premise of this plot of this movie is Annabelle and Lucas are faced with a challenge of raising his young nieces that were left alone in the forest for 5 years. And then they question, but how alone were they? Now, I'm kind of intrigued by this one because I am trying to figure out what the hell was that thing. And the only thing I could think of is it's a Spriggan.
An anime?
No, not the anime, you idiot.
You've been
A
playing too much
Spriggan.
Skyrim, sir.
But I think it's a Spriggan.
What the
Because it
hell's
was
a
a,
Spriggan?
tree
Of course it's a
spirit.
sprig.
It's a forest spirit.
Okay.
That's what a Spriggan is.
After you kill her.
What?
I said, make sure you get the taproot after you kill her.
Now, he's been playing too much Skyrim. But that's the only thing I could think of it, and the way it moves and stuff like that. So I think it's because that's a genre that hasn't been traced yet.
That was a sweet little effect.
Oh, the hair?
Mm-hmm.
The hair thing? Yeah, I thought it was kind of a trip, and I don't know.
Here's the...
I like horror movies like that. I mean, I think it's... I don't know if you saw Sinister, Ryan.
No, I haven't yet, though.
That's a really good one,
gonna
too.
watch it
So
sometime next week.
So here's a question: Will you see it? Because I hate horror movies. Generally, there's not a good.
I'll see it. My wife won't.
What about you, Ryan? Would this be a movie that you'd see?
Johnny?
Not really. A lot of them to me are very derivative, based on scare. Just stupid. A lot of it to try to be scary is a lot of spiritual stuff, and it just is like, eh.
Well, as far as I'm concerned,
I see your point on some of it. I don't like startle.
There was some startle in this one.
I like there to be some kind of a slow burn or a good plot. You know what I'm saying? Something, like the satanic shit always got me when I was a kid. That's the shit that just haunts your nightmares.
But I kind of was. I like this. I like where this one can go. I don't know if it's going to go there. It looks like it's going to be kind of like what you're saying, where they don't really show you the creepiness for a while. That's what it kind of seems like. And I mean, it's got. Del Toro jumped on it. So there's something there that I want to see.
I will say, based off on the trailer, this is completely subjective based on the trailer. It looks like parts of it are definitely slow burn. It looks like parts are very fast, cut, paste oriented. But it definitely looks like the beginning. It's a very slow burn, kind of like The Ring or some of the other ones, The Grudge, where they just slow build up until boom, and then it hits, and it seems like it's just going to be nonstop after.
Yeah, that's probably how it's going to be. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of The Ring, but
I'm just not a giant fan of most horror movies.
But I'm curious about it because I think, like I said, as Del Toro is promoting it, so that's got to be something for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
We should get into Pan's Labyrinth pretty soon.
Yeah, I think Pan's Labyrinth is going to be up there because I mean, folks out there, we've talked about Del Toro for a long time, and we probably have to do a movie.
Isn't he the one that's doing the new Pacific Rim that's supposed to be about has the aliens and giant robots?
No, I know he's doing Pinocchio. I don't know about Pacific Rim.
I thought it was Guild.
I haven't heard that either. What do you guys think about all these crazy Tom Cruise movies coming out? Have you guys seen the trailer for Oblivion?
Yeah.
The
only reason why I'm going to see that is because of Morgan Freeman.
But that's the one. That's the sci-fi one, right?
Tom Cruise, that guy kind of kicks out. That dude's 50. He's in his 50s, dude.
Is he?
That's messed up that he still looks like he's fucking 32.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking. I'm looking forward to that one because generally, give me a sci-fi movie and I'll watch it 99% of the time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
What do you think of Jack Reacher?
I don't want to see it. It doesn't look interesting. I'll watch it, but by the trailer alone, it doesn't look something I would like.
I think I actually might watch Jack Reacher. I don't know. I will see Oblivion, but like I said, because of the fact that, I mean, it's got Morgan Freeman in it, and that's going to... That says something right there. Other than that, I'm not really a big fan of watching him kind of be like, by himself for a very long time. I can't. He's talked too much. Let's put it that way. I've heard too much of him talking. It just
so ladies
punch him.
So ladies and gentlemen,
punch him.
For Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, we'll see you next week.
This episode of Old Guy Tech TV is brought to you by Ward's Automotive, specializing in Banks Power and Pack Brake, servicing your car or truck and specializing in diesel engines. Over 30 years of service, located in Diamond Springs, California. Give them a call at 530-626-5588.